Now on CoastTV News.
Belmead battle, the latest step in the rezoning request and the debate between more development and housing options in Lewis.
Delaware defends pets, how one of the newest laws in the state attempts to protect pets from abuse.
Let's go Tuesday morning. Delmarva tracking showers and heavy rain throughout the day today, as well as high winds. I'll let you know when you can expect the worst impacts coming up.
Harper's got it. He'll take it to the bag. And for the second consecutive season, the Philadelphia Phillies are the National League East champions.
Beast of the East, as Philadelphia is now ready for an October to remember.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And it is Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah, if you're a Phillies fan and you were up for that game last night and you're here right now, we appreciate that and hope you have plenty of coffee today.
Yes, I always feel like on Tuesday you need extra coffee, but especially if you stayed up for that game, you need a lot of caffeine. I did ask Chris though, I said, did you push it? Did you stay up? Chris, he said, no, you didn't even check the score in the middle of the night and wake up. I'm kind of disappointed in you, Chris. No.
I know, I'm slacking. I had to go to sleep. I had to be here for the weather, this great weather we're going to have. I'm being sarcastic. Right now. Not looking so hot as far as the weather is concerned today. We are waking up to some mild, damp conditions. Salisbury, 65 degrees. Wind's pretty calm there, 9 miles an hour. We've begun to see some light shower activity kind of pivot in off the Atlantic. Some moderate rainfall there pushing into Ocean City. But you could see off the coast here some heavier pockets of rain, and these are going to begin to pivot in here over the next few hours. So we're going to continue to see kind of waves of rain through the morning, and then by the afternoon we could see a few isolated thunderstorms. Here's gusts upwards of 34 miles an hour there, Indian River Inlet, 36 in Ocean City. Temperatures right now are holding in the mid to upper 60s to lower 70s. Now this coastal low is going to be impacting us today with rounds of rain, isolated thunderstorms. Winds really are going to begin to crank this late this morning through the evening time frame, especially at the coast. And well, it's not going to be the great beach day, but dangerous high surf is going to be developing. High risk of rip currents, beach erosion, wave heights 5 to 10 feet. Now there is light at the end of the tunnel. We are looking at a beautiful end to the week. So the showers and brief downpours will be with us through the morning. We had a bit of a lull, and then we'll see another wave of showers and storms move in this evening. We'll track the showers and storms on Futurecast and have a look at that brighter, warmer weather down the road coming up in the full 7-day forecast. Matt.
All right, thank you, Chris. And our top story this hour is the latest in the attempt at getting a housing development in the Lewis area. It's turning the Belmead Horse Farm from agricultural residential to a C4 planned commercial district.
Debate on the Belmead development for apartments and retail has continued for months, with some delays after planning and zoning decided they wanted to hear from the Cape Henlopen School District, which has 2 schools less than half a mile away from the farm.
And Sussex County Council has a public hearing on Belmead today at 1:30.
And part of that debate is the need near Sussex County coast for affordable housing. BB Healthcare says the county's rapid population growth is making it hard to keep up. CEO Dr. David Tam says due to the area's growth, in just 5 years, they are projecting 3,000 more hospitalizations per year for the 65 and up population. Dr. Tam says right now Sussex County has the worst ratio in Delaware on how many patients one clinician cares for. Tam says in just 10 years, the senior population will need 36% more trauma services and 30% more rehab services.
The worst case scenario is that we will continue to have a situation where we will not have enough healthcare services for the people who need it.
Dr. Tam says he wants to work with the county to help bring more affordable housing.
Happening today, Delaware Governor Matt Meyer is set to sign a bill creating a brand new specialty license plate. This marks Delaware's 250th anniversary of Separation Day and the nation's 250th birthday. The bill amends Title 21 of Delaware law to allow a commemorative background license plate. The plates will carry the same numbers and letters as the driver's current tag, but with a new design showcasing the milestone. The measure needed a supermajority in the General Assembly because it does involve a new license fee.
Also happening today, Delaware is taking a new step to protect animals. Governor Matt Meyer will participate in a ceremonial signing of Senate Bill 174, creating an animal abuse offender list. The legislation was officially signed back in August of this year. According to the State Office of Animal Welfare, must keep a public list of adults convicted of animal abuse. Shelters will be prohibited from allowing anyone on that list to adopt pets. The ceremony will take place at the BVSPCA Copeland Center for Animal Welfare in Newcastle at 1 o'clock.
This morning, 2 former members of the Bethany Beach Police Department are going to serve time in jail. Here is why, as we break this down. Former Police Chief Michael Redmond and former Captain Darren Cathell are guilty of stealing nearly $300,000 in overtime funds over 6 years. Redmond received 13 months in federal prison and must pay $81,000 in restitution and a $50,000 fine. Cathell was sentenced to 2 months in prison, 6 months of home confinement, in order to pay $67,000 in restitution and a $25,000 fine.
New this morning, Worcester County Sheriff's Office is warning people about a scam. The agency says scammers are impersonating police and using real names to contact locals about false jury duty, and say the scammers claim victims owe a fine for a misstate and threaten legal action if not paid. The Sheriff's Office is reminding people it will never call to request payment for missed jury duty.
Wow, you just heard that. A semi-truck crashed into a light rail train in Phoenix Sunday night. According to this security footage, the train went right through the semi-truck, which was trying to cross over the tracks. You can see the train came to a complete stop as flames burst out. Police say no one on the train was injured in the crash. The driver of the truck was taken to the hospital, but also avoided life-threatening injuries.
Happening now, Seaford is conducting its annual hydrant flushing. According to the city's Facebook page, crews are working Mondays through Fridays from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. The project takes place from the west side of the city and will move east over the next 4 to 6 weeks. The city encourages people to check their water quality before washing clothes and running the dishwasher.
It took 10 innings in Los Angeles. The Phillies beat the Dodgers and in so doing win the National League East for the 2nd straight season. And it is the earliest division clinch in franchise history. We will have more on this game later on CoastTV News Today.
Drivers in Sussex County should prepare for a detour starting later this month. DelDOT says North Old State Road will close between Beach Highway and Fleettown Road beginning Monday, September 29th through Friday, October 10th, weather permitting. Crews will be replacing a crossroad pipe and installing 2 new storm water pipes.
Got a reminder for anyone heading to Tidal Health in Salisbury this week. Expect some temporary changes at one of its parking lots. Tidal Health says now through Thursday, the sidewalk along South Division Street will close for repairs. Crews are working to create a safer walking path. Also, the hospital says a row of gravel lot parking spots along South Division Street are not an option because of potential debris from the work. It's all part of the hospital's ongoing expansion project. New overnight today, we expect charges to be filed by the Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray against Tyler Robinson. That's the man arrested in connection with the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
As the charges are filed, memorials across the country continue. NBC's Both de Yiman shows us the fallout as the investigation into Kirk's deadly shooting continues.
22-year-old Tyler Robinson is expected to face several charges, including aggravated murder in connection with the attack on conservative influencer Charlie Kirk. According to the Washington Post, Robinson appears to have confessed in an online chat not long before turning himself in, writing, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this." The Post citing 2 people familiar with the chat and screenshots. Another possible sign that may be part of the evidence, a text message exchange, says FBI Director Kash Patel.
His family has collectively told investigators that he subscribed to left-wing ideology and he had a text message exchange, he the suspect with another individual, in which he claimed that he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and he was going to do it because of his hatred for what Charlie stood for.
The FBI says the suspect is not cooperating, but points out they found the suspect's DNA on 2 pieces of evidence. While authorities haven't confirmed a motive, the president blames the left.
Looks like he was radicalized over the internet, and it's radicalized on the left. He's a left.
The Trump administration's effort to find and punish Americans who criticize Charlie Kirk intensifying, including measures to use the federal government to crack down on what the administration called vast domestic terrorist networks.
We are going to use every resource we have at the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and throughout this government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks.
Back in Utah, classes resume on campus as the suspect remains on special watch status, meaning closer supervision. In Washington, Bofta Imam, NBC News.
And we're just getting started this morning on Coast TV News today.
Yeah, coming up, Coast parking costs. We have the updates to the paid parking season now that many communities are fee-free.
Also, final fence decision after petitions and requests. One Lewis Commission is weighing in on a possible addition to Canal Front Park.
And strolling in style. This luxury stroller comes with a big price tag. What makes it such an expensive purchase? All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Good Tuesday morning, Delmar, with this coastal low we've been telling you about. Well, it's going to produce some dreary, kind of nasty conditions here over the next few days as we take a live look into Salisbury, where we see some light rain, 65 degrees there. So you're going to kind of keep the umbrella handy here really for today and through the next 2 as we see damp, dreary conditions, rain, wind, high surf. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. You could see some rain filtering in off the coast, some moderate rain just to the south of Fenwick Island, but you could see some heavier bands of rain just off the coast, and those are going to be pivoting in. The area of low pressure is just off the Carolinas there, the Outer Banks. Winds already gusting 34 Indian River Inlet to 32 in Ocean City. So expect temperatures to hold upper 60s to low 70s today with periods of rain and those high winds. We'll talk more about the rain ahead coming up in that full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. We have an update to a story we brought to you on Monday. A water line replacement in Salisbury is being rescheduled. Work was set to begin on Monday. However, according to the city's Facebook page, it will now take place on Tuesday, September 23rd. The city says the Department of Water Works will complete it on Riverside Drive. That street will be closed to drivers between Woodland Road and Douglas Road. The city says the closure begins at 9 a.m. and is expected to finish around 3:30.
Got a heads up for drivers in Easton. This week there is a traffic situation. A number of road closures are scheduled for the East Avenue storm drain improvement. On your screen is a map of where this is taking place. It is from September 17th to the 23rd. We expect to see the installation of over 2,100 feet of storm drain pipes.
British luxury automaker Aston Martin has collaborated with child car seat brand Egg to create a high-end baby stroller. The Aston Martin edition of the Egg 3 is modeled to resemble the seats of an Aston Martin car. They will be available for purchase at the starting price tag of about $3,000. No word yet when U.S. customers can order.
Southwest Airlines is following the Federal Aviation Administration's warning about the dangers of lithium-powered batteries with a new policy. Starting September 25th, Southwest passengers will have to remove the batteries from mobility devices due to fire hazards. Air travelers will have to carry them into the cabin before their wheelchair is checked.
Well, don't forget that umbrella stepping out the door this morning, as well as the windbreaker. The wind's really going to start cracking here over the next few hours, especially at the coast. We'll time out the rain, the wind, and when all this mess will be out of here in that full 7-day forecast right after the break.
Time is 5:17 and we're getting a live look. There's some slight breeze there at the Isle of Wight in Ocean City. First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono is back with us. And Chris, we're talking about a yellow alert day specifically for later on today.
Yeah, that's right. This coastal low is really going to get closer to us, and we're going to see those winds really begin to pick up through the afternoon, as well as the on and off rain. Yeah, be sure to scan that QR code there to the bottom of your screen there. Download the Coast TV weather app, get the latest, any watches, warnings issued specifically for your location. So it's very good to have in the event when we have kind of high level weather events. We're seeing light showers pushing through the area at the moment, pivoting in off the Atlantic, but you can see some heavier bands just off our coast, and these are pushing to the east. And there's the center of low pressure just off the Outer Banks there, and this is going to kind of pivot to the northwest west here throughout the day today. Temperatures right now are holding in the 60s and 70s, 65 Seaford, 71 in Rehoboth to 66 Ocean Pines. Sustained winds primarily at the coast, anywhere between about 20 to 30 miles an hour. And look at these gusts already. 34 Indian River Inlet, 32 in Ocean City out of the northeast. So we have a multitude of advisories, especially for the coast. Coastal flood advisories kick in this afternoon through 9. Could see up to a foot of inundation through high tide cycle, as well as gale wind warnings throughout the entire Delmarva coast. Gusts upwards of 40 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour wind advisory for portions of Accomack County. There's a little sneaky storm threat there for Accomack County. Points from Chickadee southward. Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk. Could see a brief spin up there through the morning time frame, so keep that in mind. Rain chances ramp up today through Wednesday and then decrease pretty rapidly into Thursday. There's the showers and brief downpours through the morning, kind of on and off variety. Then as we go into the afternoon, early evening hours, could see even a brief thunderstorm as we go into the evening, and that spotty rain continues into the overnight. Then as we go into Wednesday, that area of low pressure gets closer, the rain shield shifts to our north, and it's going to be kind of more spotty in nature, drizzle, mostly cloudy skies. And then as we go into Thursday morning, cloudy start, but a sunny finish as the clouds begin to clear. Winds, look at that, gusting upwards of 50 miles an hour. Ocean City late this morning through the early afternoon. And we're going to continue to see those 40, 45 mile an hour winds at least through the evening. And then as we go into Wednesday, we begin to see the winds really begin to rapidly die down as that area of low pressure begins to weaken. On average, 1 to 2 inches of rain with some locally higher amounts. Could see some 3-inch amounts where we do see some heavier pockets of rain. There's that brief shower early Thursday morning, but we clear out just in time for Friday and the weekend. We're at 70 degrees this afternoon, periods of rain, isolated storms with those very windy conditions at the coast. We're at 65. Scattered showers continue with isolated downpours. 75 for our Wednesday as we continue to see the showers and cloudy conditions. A morning shower on Thursday. Otherwise, we warm up to 78 degrees. The pick of the week, Friday, 84. Sunny skies, and we continue that sunshine through the weekend with a pair of 75-degree temperatures.
Well, that is great. Thank you, Chris. An update to a story that we've been covering. Last night, the Lewis Parks and Recreation Commission voted against adding a fence around the newly renovated Canal Front Park. A petition started about a month ago asking for the installation of a fence, citing concerns about the risk of drowning in proximity to the water.
It's a playground that is accessible for people with mobility issues, and putting a fence around that would close that off.
Parks and Recreation Commission denied the petition unanimously at their meeting Monday night.
Up next on Coast TV News today, coast parking costs. We'll tell you which communities are going fee-free and where you still have to pay to park on Delmarva. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back. Here's some good news for beachgoers. The paid parking season is now over in some of our coastal communities. You won't have to pay for parking in Rehoboth, Dewey, Bethany, and Fenwick. But not everyone has turned off their parking meters just yet. Lewis will continue charging at the beach until September 30th. In Ocean City, paid parking runs through Halloween, and still for places where it's ending, people are excited.
It works out well for us because we just got in last night, so we'll pay to park today and then have free parking the rest of the week. So I don't mind it.
Another update on Ocean City specifically, they are moving away from metered parking. You'll need a parking app with the exception of the inlet lot where meters will remain for 1 more year. And if you're looking to go to the beach today, well, there was some rain this morning, and Chris has been talking this afternoon. Not ideal.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how many people are looking to get to the beach, especially, Chris, with that afternoon rain that you're projecting.
You can go shopping at the
I guess you
stores.
Could,
yeah, it's a good idea. Shopping, maybe a nice lunch or dinner. Yeah, because maybe if you escape the rain, you're not going to escape the wind and the wave action that's going to really begin to develop through the morning and afternoon. You can see we're dealing with some rain at the moment in Ocean City. 68 degrees, sustained wind, 23 miles an hour. We're already seeing gusts upwards of 30, so expect showers, a brief downpour through the morning, and even by the afternoon, an isolated storm. Note the wave height, 5 to 10 feet. Lewis, few showers in the morning, downpours, those winds really ramp up through the afternoon, gusting as high as 45 to 50 miles an hour. Along the bay in Cambridge, a damp start, with muggy start, with temperatures in the 60s. We're not going to really see that much of a rise in temperature today. In fact, we're going to stay pretty much in the 60s to low 70s. Jason Cook, Millsboro, Delaware. You're the winner of our Paul Davis umbrella, and you get your forecast anytime by dialing that First Alert weather phone. We'll track the rain coming up in the next half hour. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on Coast TV News today, conquering animal cruelty will tell you how adoption requirements are just one part of a new bill in Delaware that aims to do just that.
Also, push for premiums. Why Governor Matt Meyer claims thousands of Delawareans are impacted by health care subsidies with the Affordable Care Act.
In Belmead hearing amid growth debate, Sussex County leaders set to discuss the proposed development today as some locals say the need for more affordable housing continues. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
Lewis land clash. How development plans are the latest in the debate between growth and affordable housing.
Kirk case charges. It is expected today as the fallout in the assassination is leading to finger-pointing over political violence.
Let's go Tuesday morning. Delmarva tracking showers and heavy rain throughout the day today, as well as high winds. I'll let you know when you can expect the worst impacts coming up.
This is Coast TV News Today.
September 16th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
5:30 a.m. Might have some sprinkles, rain right now, but we're getting ready for some heavier stuff later today.
Yeah, on my drive in, the sprinkles were on and off, and heavier rain is our top story this morning. We're going to bring in first meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono. Chris, we have rain today, which means Matt's going to have to cut his lawn again because the grass is going to grow.
Yeah, we're going to get that rain. That grass is going to get some nice water here over the next few days as we take a live look into Dover. Pleasant conditions there, 66, but we are seeing showers, especially across the southern portion of Sussex County through Salisbury down into Ocean City. A heavier cell here just off the coast, and this is going to be kind of pivoting to the east, kind of pivoting to the west here over the course of the next hour. Heavier precip to the south. There's that area of low pressure spinning just off Cape Hatteras, and this system is going to lift to the northwest throughout the day today. You can see wind gusts already out of the northeast, gusting 35 Indian River Inlet, 26 Bethany Beach. Temperatures right now are holding in the upper 60s to lower 70s, 67 Georgetown, 68 in Milton to 70 in Bethany Beach. So we're not going to see really much in the way of temperature rise today. We're going to hold pretty much in the upper 60s to right around 70. Periods of rain, isolated storms, and those winds gusting as high as 50 miles an hour at the coast. And we're going to keep the clouds, scattered showers in play through Wednesday, even an isolated storm chance, but not as windy. So the winds are going to be subsiding as we go into the day on Wednesday. So keep the umbrella handy through the morning. Scattered showers, that brief downpour possible with some stronger storms potentially by the afternoon as far as isolated storm chances are concerned. But there's those winds really out of the northeast gusting as high as 40 to 50 miles an hour. We'll track more of the rain, and when it all clears out, coming up in that full forecast. Matt.
All right, thank you, Chris. And our top story this half hour is the latest in the attempt at getting a housing development in the Lewis area. It's turning the Belmead Horse Farm from agricultural residential to a C4 planned commercial district.
Debate on the Belmead development for apartments and retail has continued for months with some delays after planning and zoning decided they wanted to hear from the Cape Henlopen School District, which is to schools less than half a mile away from the farm.
Sussex County Council, they have a public hearing on Belmead at 1:30 p.m.
And part of that debate is the need near Sussex County for affordable housing. BB Healthcare says the county's rapid population growth is making it hard to keep up. CEO Dr. David Tam says due to the area's growth, in just 5 years, they are projecting 3,000 more hospitalizations per year for the 65 and up population. Dr. Tam says right now Sussex County has the worst ratio in Delaware on how many patients one clinician cares for. Tam says in just 10 years, the senior population will need 36% more trauma services and 30% more rehab services.
New this morning, Delaware Governor Matt Meyer expected to hold a press conference pushing for Congress to protect health care subsidies set to expire next year. According to his office, Meyer and 17 other governors signed a letter urging congressional leaders to extend the Affordable Care Act's enhanced premium tax credits. Meyer says it keeps health coverage affordable for millions of Americans, and in Delaware alone, more than 16,000 people rely on those subsidies. with about 5,000 expected to lose coverage entirely if the credits expire.
Happening today, Delaware is taking a new step to protect animals. Governor Matt Meyer will participate in a ceremonial signing of Senate Bill 174, creating an animal abuse offender list. The legislation was officially signed back in August of this year. According to the State Office of Animal Welfare, that organization must keep a public list of adults convicted of animal abuse. Shelters will be prohibited from allowing anyone on that list to adopt pets. The ceremony will take place at the BVSPCA Copeland Center for Animal Welfare in Newcastle at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, also today, Meyer is set to sign a bill creating a brand new specialty license plate, and this one will mark Delaware's 250th anniversary of Separation Day and the nation's 250th birthday. The bill amends Title 21 of Delaware law to allow a commemorative background license plate. The plates will carry the same numbers and letters as the driver's current tag, but with a new design showing the milestone. The measure needed a supermajority in the General Assembly because it involves a new license fee.
We are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. Here, the Federal Reserve's Federal Open Market Committee is meeting today and tomorrow. Usually the focus is on the second day of its gatherings. That's when it typically announces its decision about interest rates.
Yeah, but today, just showing up for the meeting, that's newsworthy for some board members. Amy Kiley shows us how leadership changes could impact today's events.
I'm not confident of anything.
The Federal Reserve Board meets today at a pivotal time for the panel. It has a new face after last night's Senate confirmation of Stephen Myron. He's replacing a governor who resigned last month. He's also keeping his job at the White House, but going on unpaid leave.
The senators at least say the right thing about independence, and I think that counts for something.
Fed Governor Lisa Cook is still on the board today, despite President Donald Trump's attempt to fire her. That's after an appeals court ruled in her favor yesterday.
The key takeaway here is what exactly is cause and what kind of power does that ultimately give to the President of the United States when it comes to the Federal Reserve.
Trump is pushing the Fed to slash rates. Many investors expect it to announce a modest quarter-point cut tomorrow.
They're making a bet that the recent reacceleration in inflation is being driven by tariffs and that they can look through it. That's a big bet.
Meanwhile, many economists are sounding the alarm about stagflation. That's the combination of slow economic growth, a rise in unemployment, and inflation. Experts say it's a challenge for the Fed.
Tariffs cause the economy to shrink. That's the sort of thing you'd normally cut rates for. Tariffs cause inflation to rise. That's the sort of thing you'd normally raise rates for.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Happening now, Seaford is conducting its annual hydrant flushing. According to the city's Facebook page, crews are working Mondays through Fridays from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Project takes place from the west side of the city and will move east over the next 4 to 6 weeks. And people are advised to check their water quality before washing clothes and running the dishwasher.
A reminder for anyone heading to the Tidal Health Salisbury this week, expect some temporary changes at one of its parking lots. The healthcare company says now through Thursday, the sidewalk along South Division Street will be closed for repairs. Crews are working to create a safer pathway, and the hospital says a row of gravel lot parking spots along South Division Street will also be blocked off because of potential debris from the project. This is all a part of the hospital's ongoing endoscopy expansion project.
This just in today, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson is expected to face several charges, including aggravated murder in connection with the assassination of conservative influencer Charlie Kirk. The FBI says the suspect is not cooperating, but points out they found the suspect's DNA on 2 pieces of evidence. Authorities are still working to confirm a motive. Another possible sign that may be part of the evidence, a text message exchange.
He had a text message exchange, the suspect, with another individual, in which he claimed that he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and he was going to do it because of his hatred for what Charlie stood for.
And in Utah, classes resume on that campus as the suspect remains on special watch status, meaning closer supervision. We have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, possible pool proposal will tell you how organizers say the addition of an Olympic-sized pool would boost Delaware's economy.
Also, NL East champs. It was a wild one in LA as this morning the Phillies celebrate another division title.
And Assateague Plant and Animal Log will tell you how you can be a part of a program to survey the creatures here on Delmarva. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
A pleasant good Tuesday morning, Delmarva, as we take a live look into a wet Salisbury. You can see the wet roadways there, some light to moderate rain pushing over the area, 65 degrees there, dew point 63, so quite tropical out there with the rain. We're going to continue to see those wet roads throughout the morning, so lights, wipers this morning, wet roads, so use caution. Take some time out there as we begin to see these showers pivot in off the Atlantic. Nothing all that heavy at the moment. We do have some heavier pockets of rain just offshore, and those are going to be pivoting in. So we're going to kind of be in and out of the showers and even a few isolated thunderstorms by this afternoon. The center of low pressure is just off the outer banks there, and that's going to be lifting to the northwest throughout the day. Winds already cranking at the coast, gusting 25 to 35 miles an hour. We could see some gusts as high as 50 late this morning through the afternoon time frame. Highs today really going to stay in the 60s for most of the day. We'll top out right around 70 with periods of rain and those isolated storm chances as well as those windy conditions. We'll track the rain coming up and when it'll all clear out in that full 7-day forecast. Matt.
All right, Chris. Assateague Island National Seashore wants you to participate in their week-long iNaturalist Bio Blitz. So what is that exactly? It is a program where you enjoy the park's trails, beaches, and marshes, and you're encouraged to take pictures of any of the thousands of plants, animals, or other organisms in the park. And then you're asked to log your observations in the iNaturalist app. And this will help contribute to the large biodiversity database for the National Seashore. Don't need to sign up for anything. This project begins September 21st and goes through the 27th.
The Maryland Folk Festival is almost here, and that means several road closures across downtown Salisbury starting today. According to the city's website, this is to make room for stages, vendors, and thousands of visitors. The city is closing streets in phases. Some of the closures include Circle Avenue, Main Street, and Market Street. All streets will reopen by Thursday, September 25th. The Maryland Folk Festival takes place from September 19th to the 21st.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
High school sports got off to a hot start this week, so let's go through some volleyball highlights from DSN+. St. Peter and Paul on the road to battle Worcester Prep in an ESEAC volleyball battle. This should be a good one, folks. And first set, the Sabres establish themselves. Kinsley Angler serves up an ace. Her team's up 11-4 in set one. And a few points later, Madeline Cronin gets in on the fun. What a spike. St. Peter and Paul lead 16-6. Worcester Prep puts up a fight. Madison Andrews tallies an ace of her own, but St. Peter and Paul hold on to win set one. Next set, the Sabres keep rolling. Cronin sets, Angler kills it. St. Peter and Paul up 5-3. And now Cronin passes to Natalie Lyons, and she takes care of business. Sabres lead 12-7 in set two. The Mallards stay in the fight. Another ace pulls Worcester within 3 points. So not over yet, but Madeline Cronin to Kinsley Angler. What a connection they have. The Sabres take set two and lead the Mallards 2-0. But long story short, Madeline Cronin dominated and led St. Peter and Paul to a sweep of Worcester Prep. That'll do it for sports. Have a great Tuesday, Delmarva.
And coming up tonight on DSN, 6:30 live, Henlopen Conference Boys Soccer. Cape takes on Sussex Central, then catch the final score at 10:30. Along with that game of the night, here is what you can watch on DSN+. 4 p.m. It is a Kent County field hockey matchup as Dover takes on Smyrna. Also at 4, Parkside goes up against Queen Anne's in girls soccer. At 5, Parkside at Decatur, girls volleyball. And Appoquinimink visits Sussex Academy in boys soccer. Just a few hours ago in Los Angeles, Phillies-Dodgers 8th inning. Bryce Harper breaks a 4-4 tie with his solo shot, and the Phils have a 5-4 lead with 6 outs to go. But with 1 out in the bottom of the ninth, Andy Poss plays spoiler with that no doubt about it bomb. We're tied at 5 and going extra innings. In the 10th, runners at second and third. JT Realmuto drives it deep enough. Sac fly scores Harrison Bader, and the Phillies regain the lead at 6-5, setting up this. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 10th, Max Muncy the grounder, and the Phillies, with the win, make it back-to-back division titles. Philadelphia, you are the 2025 NL East champs after a 6-5 win.
Well, fall isn't just for football, it's for marching band too, and the Delmarva Sports Network will cover 6 marching band competitions featuring over a dozen schools from across the peninsula. These competitions will stream exclusively on DSN+. The first one is scheduled for Saturday, September 20th. Ed Sheeran has news about his final album and a new first look at Claire Danes' new TV series. Rick Damangella has more in today's Hollywood Minute.
Ed Sheeran has his final album mapped out. The singer revealed to Apple Music that he's already created the album he wants released after he dies, titled Eject. Sheeran has the album in his will and will let his wife choose the track list.
We are, all of us, drawn to monsters.
Claire Danes and Matthew Rhys team up. The actors star in the new limited series The Beast in Me. Danes plays a reclusive author determined to find truth about her suspicious new neighbor. The Netflix release premieres November 13th.
It feels different coming home. There's a real emptiness.
The Boss comes to the big screen. Jeremy Allen White portrays Bruce Springsteen in the upcoming biopic Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. This is a new look at the film, which documents the making of the rocker's beloved Nebraska album and arrives in theaters October 24th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damangella.
Seeing some wet roads out there this morning. Temperatures are in the low to mid 60s, scattered showers, and those winds already cracking are going to get even higher later this morning through the afternoon. We'll track the wind, the rain, and when it all clears out, coming up in that full 70 forecast right after the break.
The time is now 5:49, and we're taking a live look outside at Salisbury this morning, and we can see that is a very slick looking road outside, Chris, and we've been talking about rain all morning, so we're just going to preach extra caution as you're driving to work or your destination.
Yeah, we're seeing some light to moderate rainfall push over the area at the moment. Some heavier showers just offshore, and you can see them kind of pivoting in off the Atlantic. Nothing all that heavy throughout Sussex County, but you can see these heavier bands just off the coast, more of them down through portions of just off the coast of Accomack County, and these are all pushing to the west with that counterclockwise flow around this area of low pressure that's centered just off the Outer Banks there. You can see some heavier rains down through that area. Temperatures are holding in the 60s and 70s, 65 Bridgeville to 67, Millsboro 69, Ocean City to 70, Indian River Inlet. Sustained winds right now, more of an issue at the coast, sustained anywhere between about 15 to 25, gusting 26, Rehoboth 35, Indian River Inlet to 32 in Ocean City. Coastal flood advisories in effect for the coastal Sussex County. That begins 3 o'clock today through 9 for some inundation up to 1.5 feet through high tide. That extends down to Worcester County as well. We have gale warnings up for the entire Delmarva coast through really Wednesday, and those we could see winds as high as 45, and wind advisory in effect through portions of Accomack County. Now, the Storm Prediction Center has a little area there. See that green there? Marginal risk of severe weather through Accomack County. Could see a brief spin up there as those bands push ashore. Rainfall, well, we're going to be dealing with it at least for the next 2 days, and then we'll see a few early showers on Thursday before skies clear. Highs today are going to generally be in the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. 69 Salisbury, 71 in Ocean City. So Futurecast shows the showers pivoting in off the Atlantic through the morning. Again, a brief downpour possible as these bands push in. They would see a little bit of a lull there through the lunchtime hour, and then as we go into the late part of the afternoon into the evening, we see more scattered showers, brief downpours, even a rumble of thunder. As that area of low pressure gets closer, you see tomorrow morning, not much in the way of shower coverage. I think most of the precip is going to push to the north, but we'll keep the shower threat and even a rumble of thunder in play through Wednesday. Then as we go into early Thursday morning, clouds to start, sunshine to finish. There's those wind gusts. Look at this, 49 Ocean City through the late morning, early afternoon. Still gusts 40, 45 miles an hour into Tuesday evening. And then as we go into your Wednesday, winds really begin to shut off as that area of low pressure weakens and pulls off to the northeast. Rainfall totals on average 1 to 2 inches through late Wednesday. Showers clear out just in time for Friday, and we're looking at sunny skies to end the week. 70 degrees this afternoon with an isolated storm. Winds really crank at the coast. 65 for the overnight with scattered showers, and we'll keep the scattered shower threat in play through Wednesday. A lot of clouds with an isolated storm. Friday, your pick of the week, 84 degrees, mostly sunny skies. We're at 75 Saturday and Sunday with mostly sunny and a beautiful weekend in store.
All right, thank you, Chris. A nonprofit looking to make a splash in Kent County, Delaware. First State Aquatic Center has pitched a $20 to $44 million facility before Dover City officials. Calls for a 50-meter Olympic-sized swimming pool, several recreational pools, and seating for 1,500 spectators. 3 locations are under consideration: the former Macy's at the Dover Mall, a site near Dover Air Force Base, and land by DE Turf. Supporters say the center could also host multi-day tournaments, which they say will boost Kent County's tourism and economy.
We think this is a great place for it. We think there's a great need because aquatic programming can meet the needs of a community in so many ways.
And First State Aquatic Center tells us the next step is raising $50,000 to fund a feasibility study.
The time is now 5:53, and we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day, very active dog on your screen. That is Conus. Conus was recently discovered a new love of swimming. Favorite place, Lisa, is the Indian River Bay.
Oh.
This active pup was submitted to us by Lori in Longneck.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
That's where the QR code is, top center. Scan that, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 5:56, and we're going to take another look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Yeah, we're getting ready for some heavier rain later today, Chris.
Yeah, we're going to be in and out of the showers here through the morning, and could even see a few isolated thunderstorms as we go into the afternoon. You could see the counterclockwise flow of the system pushing in the rain off the Atlantic, so keep the umbrella handy. Winds really begin to pick up, especially late this morning into the early afternoon at the coast, gusting as high as 45 to 50 miles an hour. That's why we have that yellow alert in effect through this afternoon into the evening. We keep the shower threat in play. Wednesday remains dreary. Early morning showers Thursday, otherwise clearing skies by the afternoon. Friday looking fantastic, 84 degrees, and the weekend looking pretty good right now with temperatures holding in the mid-70s.
All right, thank you, Chris. And coming up in our next hour, growth sparks debate, how a plan in Lewis is the latest in the battle over development and the need for affordable housing. That and more when we continue with Coast TV News Today.